context of rape and international law and how it works on a domestic level, I think it's, on an international law perspective, it is instrumental that we have such an instrument to begin with. I think what needs to then happen is for it to be channeled on a domestic level. Now, I speak here in terms of reference to research that I've done in Timor-Leste, and thanks to AusAID in terms of allowing us to do that research there, together with my colleague, Dr. Suzanne Belton. Now, in terms of talking about the issue of rape and how it sort of channels down on a domestic context, I think what needs to be done is, first of all, an engagement with the traditional justice system that's in place. Before you have emerging legal systems coming into place, what I mean is this. What usually occurs in a post-conflict zone or country or jurisdiction, and I'm talking from a context more of Timor, but I think it could apply to other jurisdictions, is that you'll have a gamut of law that's coming into place because you're trying to develop the legal system. But with that gamut of law, there's already an existing traditional justice system. So take into context what's happened like with rape from an international law perspective that's recognized as a crime or a war crime, pursuant to Resolution 1820, for instance, sexual violence. How do you then bring that into a domestic context, especially when you have an existing traditional justice system that does not understand or recognize marital rape, or rape for that matter, in the context of conflict? How do you sort of engage with the system? Based on what I've explored and researched in Timor-Leste, in 2010 they promulgated a law on domestic violence. Let's just take it on that context first, because marital rape and the issue of rape itself has a facet there. Now, when they promulgated this new law, and what I found when we went there was our purpose was to try to socialize it to the communities and also provide training to the different stakeholders. In the process of trying to socialize it and provide that training, I found that we actually had put the cart before the horse, in the sense that I found that there was very little engagement with the traditional justice system that was already in existence. And as a result, when we moved from district to district in Timor-Leste, we found that no one really cared too much about this new law, let alone this international law that has declared rape to be an offense in terms of conflict or even in terms of domestic setting. And here's where the problem lies. The problem is in terms of emerging law not having that conversation with what's already on the ground in terms of traditional justice systems. And as a result, you'll find that it's only good as what it is on paper. So in the process of trying to then engage with community in terms of what this law was about, or how it could sort of benefit the community, and so it becomes part of, if you want, their cultural system, we had to then talk to the community elders to explain to them that first of all, you need to recognize that this is an offense. Because for a very long time, as far as they are concerned, it's a private matter. It's a matter, rape is a matter well, first of all, they don't want to look at it as rape, so that's a problem in itself. But they consider it to be one between either the husband and wife or between members in that particular community. And it needs to be resolved by way of the traditional justice system, which is a restorative justice system, in which case, in most instances, what will happen is the reparation would be, we'll kill a pig, and that should alleviate your suffering. So those form of remedies were clearly not one that works, because it doesn't deal with the behavior of the perpetrator, nor does it provide any form of a relief to the survivor. So in that context, coming back to your question, it's very difficult in a post-conflict situation, jurisdiction, to try to implement those new concepts from international law perspective as an offense in that jurisdiction before you actually engage with the traditional justice system that's in existence.